Kelly Peter.
Hey!
World, they just like someone comes by, is like, "Oh, I like your hair."
I get that a lot.
Right?
And so we would do more like nighttime stuff. So we were like, I would literally sneak out of my window at night. And I'm so independent that I can make a decision
With what I want to do.
to make my hair platinum blonde. What are you going to do about it? Now, but here's the thing about that. When you are not those people, but you are in those things, you start to forget that you're not those people. Mm-hmm. And so you're living your life in a way that reflects those people, but you're not in that position. You gotta get up in the morning and take your ass to work. It was like, I didn't even want people to know that I danced because I thought still that was played out.
That was
footwork, and then I'm joking, right?
Yeah.
I do all that and I stand up, bam. And I look around and everybody's like this. I don't make excuses for myself to not, like, I'm not going to be like, man, I'm really tired. I was out last night at these parties. I'm going to call in. I think I've never seen more excuses for not doing things before in my life than this generation. Like, the excuses people be coming up with is crazy. Well, did you dance for Usher? So then you're not really a professional dancer? It's like, I don't think I can do this no more. I don't know what's meant for me, but it ain't that. Being above ground is more than half the battle. And I say that not from a place of like, I feel old. Yeah. I've lost friends, I've lost, important people in my life. So life is just precious.
Hi everyone, welcome to the podcast of your soul. Welcome to the favorite podcast in your house, in your heart, baby. I love you. Yes. Today I'm back with another episode. Damn, bro, this shit is really growing. It's really growing. I'm having more surprising guests. For me, surprising all the time and very special because like every time they take the time to come to my crib. Take the walk and take the drive, because I live far from the city, and they still come. Like it's very nice to know that like people wanna talk to me. But before we start, give it a like, give a subscribe, please share, comment, because I feel this life story is gonna be life changing for some of you. As a person which I highly admire, has a lot of trajectory in the art industry. And I'm just thankful to have him in my podcast with all of you in the podcast. So, Rojo, Kelly, Peter.
Hey! Sha.
Kelly, what's up? How are you?
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. I know it was a drive.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I don't mind a drive. I find it to be therapeutic.
You like driving? Me too. What do you like? What do you find about driving like so relaxing?
It allows you to. It is some form of meditation. Even if you're listening to music and you're just zoned out listening to music, that's still a form of meditation. And it allows you just to have time with yourself, And for me too, as someone who really loves music and I use music a lot in what I do, it's nice to be able to listen. That's how I find like new songs or new things that I'm inspired by.
And then you like think and stuff.
And then I think about it, or I think about other things. Like on a drive, you can think about something you said yesterday that maybe you're like, I could have said that differently. Or maybe you're like, I really like the way I said that. I like the way that I should probably try to use that approach more. And I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah, of course.
Like
You're not always like that.
It's just a time for either self-reflection or a time to not think about anything.
Anything, right?
You know
it's
what
just
I mean? Like you just rocking, listening to music. But it is your time to do with it what you please. And so I don't mind, driving an hour. Like I said, I find it to be.
But whenever you want to like drive, for example, you do that like purposely, or for example, in the city, there's a lot of traffic. So right now you're living in the city. So
Right.
do you find yourself like going out of the city to drive, or
No, I don't.
it's just
I don't
whenever
do it
you have the
like whenever if I have to do it, I don't mind it by myself.
Of course. Because then it's
But
like,
like,
hey!
yeah, but
Like,
if you got the 2 kids in the back and the wife, and she's monitoring the volume on the music, and the kids are loud, and like this is too much. It's too overstimulating. So,
okay, good. What is something that you feel grateful about today?
just being alive, being being above ground is more than half the battle. And I say that not from a place of like I feel old,
Yeah.
but just from a place of like I'm conscious enough to know that life is precious, and I see, I've lost friends. I know other people who's lost people. I've lost, important people in my life, and of all ages. So life is just precious, and so I'm conscious of that every single day. I'm conscious of it.
And then were you always like that, or with like whenever you started aging, you started realizing like, hey, what like I'm alive, or were you like since where you were young, you were like, damn, like I'm grateful for.
Always been conscious. I've been more conscious, as I've gotten older. But even 25 years ago, I was conscious in the sense that like picking up sand in my hand and, just being conscious of how amazing it is that we're here and what created this, that, where we're at.
Yeah.
The God, the universe, whatever, because it's, I don't know what people believe because people have so many beliefs.
Yeah.
Like you just, I'm just very grateful, and I'm conscious that there is something bigger.
And this was like, it comes from your family, or you find this spiritual life by yourself, or how was it?
I think it's just who I am. My family, I believe, is probably more religious.
Okay.
My sister, and a few of my nieces, and my dad. They are subscribed to Judaism.
Yeah.
So, and my mom is more of a Christian.
Okay.
And then I don't know, my brothers, my sister is also, she subscribes to Judaism. And my brother is just, I don't think he's more probably Christian than anything.
Okay.
But yeah, so I just found myself to be
Spiritual.
Spiritual.
Okay, good. So if by any chance someone from here is like, they don't know who you are, just like they're not from the art world, they're just like someone comes by is like, oh, I like your hair.
I get that a lot.
Right? It's bad cool, bro.
Thank you.
What would be a good introduction for yourself for someone that doesn't know who you are and what you do for a living?
Damn, I would like to think I wouldn't have to say what I did for a living, but just, Kelly Peters. I'm a father, a husband, a mentor, a best friend, a brother, son, cousin, uncle.
Uncle Kelly.
Yeah, got a lot of those nieces, nephews. Shout out to them. I love them all. What I do for a living is my livelihood, because it is more of a purpose than it is like a job or a career.
Like a regular job.
It is a career, and like,
and if you put it in terms,
world,
and you put it in
like,
terms of society, and
right, in terms of society.
Oh, how much you make per month?
right. Like it's like see a career, but I don't
look at that way.
Envision it that way. That I am walking in my purpose, 1,000%. I don't feel like
you're just doing a job just to make.
I don't feel like I'm doing a job.
Like you're not doing the job. Like, it's like David Goggins was like, who's got to carry the bolts?
Yeah, like I don't feel like I'm doing a job. Like it doesn't, I could do what I do for 18 hours and be very happy.
Yeah, I've seen you like.
Sometimes I'll lean into it, But that honestly, I believe that. I wish that for everybody, man. I wish that I truly do. I really wish for everybody that they were walking in their purpose. I think it makes people happier, you know, which creates a happier home life and like all those sort of things. You know,
it's just more natural. You don't.
It's more natural.
Yeah, it's not. You don't have to.
You're doing something that you love.
Yeah, even
you're
though
surrounded by people that you love and respect and that inspire you, and you know,
and he doesn't. It's not like you don't get tired. Like relax. Like that.
Yeah.
Usually, person's like, "Why are you tired? You're doing what you love." It's like,
yeah. I'm still exhausting myself,
but you do it with a more like natural flow or natural
man.
like boost. It's
Absolutely.
not the same. It's not the same. Like if you just working on like a 9 to 5. That's something that you're like.
Well, for somebody else too.
No, meaning like for example, but like if you work 9 to 5 in the context of like this is not my dream job, but I do it just because this is what I have to do for the moment.
Right.
It's just it changes the game completely for it's life changing. Like if you do something that you're actually like, damn, even like you wake up and you think about new projects and stuff like that. Like I've seen people. I've been in spaces where I'm like, damn, like I don't really like what I'm doing. So damn, not like I don't want to do any project or something because I'm like I don't feel like motivated or in a space where I'm like, okay, creativity, come to me.
Right. Yeah, you're not thinking about that.
No. Okay, so just to start, I don't know if you saw the cards right there.
I see cards down there.
So this let's start with the icebreakers. You can just grab.
Oh, you want me to grab them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got you. Hold on. You good? Just grab.
I'm gonna fuck around threw my back out.
You can grab 1 or 2, and then just it's a question, and then you just gotta answer it.
Okay. Let me move back.
Yeah, it's a horizontal. Don't worry.
All right. Okay. It says, what's the one big thing that you want to change about yourself? The one big thing I want to change about myself. Big thing.
Or it can be small. Eating more fruit.
I think I would like to be a better listener. I feel like sometimes I'm a good listener, but it just depends on, you know. No, it depends on, who, but also depends on like the conversation and like
context, situation.
Yeah, the situation. Like sometimes like, you know, if I'm more passionate about something, I'm probably, you know, or if I'm, you know, really knowledgeable about something, probably less of a listener, you know. But
you're like, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about.
I would want to do that. I would want to. Oh, I know. You know what? Here's the biggest thing. Is I wish that I didn't use my phone so much. Like in terms of like, you know, when I'm around other people or in the world.
Okay.
You know,
be more present.
Be more present. I think that's something that I would like, because I find myself sometimes like, you know, on my phone scrolling.
Yeah.
Like everybody else. It's like it's such a mindless thing to do, but I almost find that shit to be therapeutic. You know, like I'm like. I don't have to think about all the things that are happening.
Yeah, right now it's just like
that. Especially that I'm doing personally.
Yeah,
like, you know, whether it be business or family or whatever. It's mindless. You know, I'm just kind of scrolling and whatever.
Yeah, it's just like it's your time of entertainment, if you can call it like that.
It's almost entertaining, but then I also have to do it for, you know, for work reasons too. So, but I do wish I could be a little more present.
Yeah, but that's
I'm sure
something like everyone like I think struggle with.
Yeah.
Just because like bro, like we have everything in the palm of our hands.
Yeah.
So like even
do.
like I find myself, for example, like whenever I'm like in a Christmas meeting or New Year's, and then I don't know your type of family, but my type of family is a little boring. So we're just sitting there, you know. Some people are like talking to each other or whatever, and I'm like not doing anything. So I'm like, the easiest thing is just take out your phone and be like, well, whatever.
Yeah. You're like, I'm not that, I guess, into what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna hop on and see what's going on.
Yeah, or like
world.
Even like if you like in a restaurant, you're waiting, you're like,
yeah,
well,
yeah. I mean, it's a good way to pass time for sure.
Okay, let's go to another one of the icebreakers.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. What's something your parents warned you about that ended up true? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if that's an icebreaker.
Well, it's
It's a good question. I mean,
you're like, damn, I'm still ice right now.
It might be a chainsaw about an icebreaker. But anyway, I don't know. I've never really thought of that. Something that they said would be, well, that I would have to work, hard and have great work ethic for, to be successful. And it had a lot to do with my work ethic. And I believe that is very true.
Did you thought different before? Like whenever you were younger, you thought like maybe you can still succeed without having the work ethic that, for example, your parents told you. You were like, I mean, yeah, I think I can work here and there and then just still be successful, or what changed?
Well, I think that my parents were examples of hard workers. My dad started off like, I think he was washing trucks at an electric company. He was like, go clean the vans or whatever for this electric company. And then from that, he somehow moved into some sort of janitorial position in the building.
Yep.
Where he retired from, one of the biggest electric companies in St. Louis. It was called Union Electric. And he was like third seat under, it was like the president, vice president, and my dad, and that came from hard work. Like, he had the opportunity.
Years.
Well, working in that same business, part of his job was he was able to go to school and they would pay for his schooling. And he went and he got his degree and just moved up through the company until he became, a big executive in this huge electric company. My mom is more of the entrepreneur.
You got it from her.
They both worked. My mom built fighter jets for 25 years, like the F-18 Harrier. I mean, the Harrier. I think it was the F-15 Eagle, the F-18 Hornet, and the Harrier were the fighter jets that she was building, and she did that for 25 years. But at the same time, she opened a hair salon.
Okay.
So she had a hair salon, but she also worked building fighter jets.
Crazy.
And then in the middle of all that, decided she was going to start a chocolate candy business.
Okay.
Where she did chocolates.
Ooh.
I mean, and even today, she owns, she's retired.
Yeah.
But she started a in-home kind of healthcare family business.
Okay.
That, it was funny. One time I'm driving in St. Louis and my mom has a big billboard on the highway. I'm like, she's rocking out,
Yeah.
That's where the entrepreneurialism comes from. And it's from my mom. She's a go-getter,
I can see.
She's that woman, Shout out to Mom. Sharon
Shout out
Peters.
to her. I'm like,
I love you. I love you, Mom. I love you too, Dad. I love them both.
Of course.
But like they both have had different effects on me.
Of course.
And like my mom, like
They're
I said,
different persons.
she like I said, she's an entrepreneur. She makes shit happen.
Yeah, like
You know what I
chocolate.
mean?
Like who's got a chocolate?
Who would think? Believe me, she made us all be involved. We were all mixing and stirring chocolates and pouring them in the molds. And I gotta, she'd make a big basket of chocolate roses.
Okay.
So it'd be like everything was chocolate though. The roses, the rose stems, everything was chocolate. But it looked like a real rose, but it was a red chocolate.
Crazy.
And green leaves and
that's a lot of work.
A lot of work, man. Our kitchen just would be like tons of chocolate and different things that you need to make chocolate. It's crazy.
So you didn't have how you say it? Like you always had chocolate at home.
Oh, we always had chocolate in the house.
So now, like, does someone like, oh, you want chocolate? It's like,
yeah.
Or you're like, oh, good.
No, I love chocolate still today.
Okay.
That's part of my problem. That's why I'm in the gym 4 times a week.
Okay, so a part of like your regular job, the things you do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
What kind of hobbies do you have outside your like work?
Honestly, man, I don't think I have a lot of hobbies. Like I'm outside of my house. I'm in the gym.
Okay.
I do like to bike ride from time to time, but I think that as life gets more serious, bike riding, as fun as it sounds, bike riding in the city doesn't sound like it's worth the risk.
Okay.
Like people are so careless.
Okay.
In terms of like the drivers, they really don't respect the bikers so much.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to put myself in a position like that.
Yeah,
and probably partly my fault because I just started wearing a helmet like when I started riding not a while ago, but I never used to wear
I did it for 30 years without a helmet.
Yeah, but then I started wearing helmets, but I do like to ride bikes. I find it to be fun.
Following sports.
But I don't really I don't want to be injured. So
yeah.
And what we do, our bodies are a major part of what we do. So like anything that we do is a risk of not being able to do that.
Yeah.
And so
even like a little small risk injury is like,
guys,
I can't.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't like to take that kind of risk. So,
but now, like watching sports, do you like basketball or something like that?
Yeah, I like watching sports. I don't keep up with any sport enough to be like.
You're not a fan of like,
right? But here's what I like. I love watching great competition. So. I'm gonna watch the Super Bowl. I'm gonna watch the playoffs. I'm gonna watch. That's like the
big
cream of the crop. Like we're getting to the top where you're gonna see some really good games because these are the best people.
Yeah,
I'm not keeping up with the rest of it. I don't even have time to do that. You know what I mean? Like my schedule doesn't allow me to be doing all that. But,
okay. Moving a little bit still with your persona, right? Well, how can you describe like what's a daily routine for you? If you can start with like from morning until you go to sleep, of course, summarize them. Wake up.
Every day is different, but there are some things that stay pretty normal, pretty consistent. Which is, I am the morning portion of my household. So, and my wife is the evening part of the house. So I have the mornings. That means I'm doing breakfast, packing lunches, getting them ready, making sure we're brushing teeth, and
everything,
doing all that stuff, and dressing my son, and then we're out the door. After I get them to where they need to be, daycare, school, whatever, I'm straight to the gym. And I'm really glad that it's like that because I don't know that I would be as consistent if I had to like find time to go to the gym.
Yeah.
It's different than like having the time to go to the gym. It's like I have the time. Once I drop them off, boom,
gym.
Straight to the gym.
No excuses. Yeah, I gotta go.
I mean, there are times when like I have meetings or something that's happening that's at an earlier time, or I'm working with a client or anything like that. Then in those moments,
Okay.
But 9 times out of 10,
you go.
I'm going to the gym. I'm there 4 times a week.
And then you start your studio thing on the evening?
Well, it depends. Depends. Like sometimes I'm doing studio business during the day. Like my partner, Gladys Bank.
Yep.
Shout out to Gladys. Sometimes we're doing stuff.
Yeah, it's just work.
We're working.
But usually, we can say like gym, evening, work, and then at what time usually you end up your day?
It depends on the day, truly. But usually around 8. But sometimes, 9-ish, 9:30, 10.
1 a.m.
10, 10:30. It just depends. But usually at the latest, like 10:30.
Okay, good. Now, what will be like an ideal day for you? Like, let's say we live in a society where money is not a thing. So, what will be like a day that you're like, damn, this is the best day of my life, or it's just like a very good day for you?
Well, I just like being productive, man. Like to have a good productive day is a good day for me. Like productive in all fronts. Like, I'm getting up, get the kids, go to the gym.
Doing stuff that you're like, okay, check, and then check.
I don't know, maybe Gladys and I have some idea about something that we are trying to develop, and we like got to go meet somebody or do something or whatever, bam, got that, bam, go in the studio and, we're working on something great. I'm collaborating with some other choreographers, and, what we're doing is dope, and I'm excited and, really anticipating being there to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe, getting home and being able to have time to spend with my wife and my kids before they, go to bed or whatever. Like,
quality time with the family.
It's a good day. I mean, listen, I don't know if it's quality because sometimes I'll be on that phone, but
you're like, yeah.
No, it is quality. It is quality though.
I mean, but not all the time. You can be like, have quality time.
Right, but right. But I'm present enough that like I am there most of the time to kiss my kids goodnight, tuck them in.
And you do the breakfast, you do everything. Yeah. So you're still present. You're very present.
I'm not there for like the nitty gritty when it's like you got to feed them and they're having the evening breakdown from a long day of school.
But you still
or whatever,
do your part. Like, for example, I remember when I was younger, I was, I think, middle school, high school, back in my country. And then I remember my dad didn't have a job at the time. Yeah. And usually my mom was the one that like she used to do breakfast for us, and then she used to drop us off where the bus picked us up.
Yeah.
And then by the time I remember, like my dad used to wake up, do breakfast for us, and then take us to the bus and everything. And that's something I really cherish because that was not the natural way that I grew up with. Like usually he had a 8 to 11. No, I'm just kidding. But 8 to 5 or whatever, 9 to 5. So
8 to 11.
Sometimes getting a little crazy, but it's whatever. And I remember, like, because he didn't have a job, I really, like, I remember the stage of my life. I was like, it makes my heart, like, a little, because I was like, damn, my dad was really doing that for us. Like, it's just kind of crazy. Like, I know for a fact whenever they grow up, they're going to be like, damn, daddy used to, like,
like
no,
they know the grind is real, man. And
they gotta know,
but they see it, my wife Crystal is, she has to be patient because she also has to give, because I'm in a role that I give a lot, and I'm really involved in my
family,
like my family, but also my dance family, my business family, and so she has to be willing to give as well.
Yeah, so,
so it's a very fine balance.
But like I think you gotta communicate very well to be able to understand each other. Because for example, I had like this thought about, damn, like if I have a girl, I don't know if she has to be an artist or not. Because like whenever I talk to someone, like so I call them like regular people.
Yeah.
And then I talk to them about like my lifestyle, the way I see life is very different. And sometimes I really feel like misunderstood. It's like, damn, like I think you hear, but you don't understand.
Right.
So like I think like you gotta really communicate to be able to work something like that out.
Well, it depends. Like, my wife was a professional dancer. So, and she transitioned into fitness, but she definitely understands. And as long as she's known me, I've been this person. Like the grind is very real.
Never ends.
Never ends. I've always been very busy, very personable, so it's not anything new to her to see me.
How do you find, not the time, but like for yourself, like meaning how do you balance family, work, and your personal life? Like your person, like, oh, I need space for myself. For
Yeah, it's a good question. Like I think that I make those moments by, well, also like she works, so like during the day,
yeah,
let's say up until between like 8 and 1 is my time. Unless, of course, I'm in like there are a few days of the week, like maybe 4 days of the week now that I have to be in earlier.
Yeah,
like, where I'm in like 11,
yeah.
11:30. So, but that time is my time. So I do give myself the time to have to myself, and also I think working out is a self thing. Self care, self love is.
Yeah, you fight all your demons and be like,
yeah, you in there, man, and like, so like I feel like and the balance is, we just have a system,
okay,
somewhat of a system, and we do have to communicate, and
yeah.
I can also tell sometimes when if she's overwhelmed, and I might try to pick up the slack, or maybe I'll cook dinner a couple, one night or a couple nights.
Yeah, to help out.
Or I'll cook dinner one night and I'll order in one night to kind of like, take a load off. I do the laundry. I didn't used to do the laundry. I hate doing laundry. Let's start with that.
What is the thing? Why do you hate it so much?
I just don't feel like doing that on my off time.
You're like, wow.
But, I've started to do it because, it's helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Like when the basket is overflowing,
you're like, someone got to do it,
and you leave the house and you think to yourself,
damn.
Well, in my wife's case, I'm sure that's what she does.
Yeah.
She leaves before me. I'm sure she will, wake up, maybe go to throw her whatever in the laundry, and it's overflowing. And her brain, she's like, damn, I gotta come back and do this. I
gotta do that when I come back.
So imagine what that feels like when you come home and you're like, the laundry's done.
Thanks the Lord.
It's the simple things, bro. It's the simple things.
Yeah, like you can say, like you care about the person.
You start to clock though, like that becomes the new, foreplay, if you will. You know what I mean? In a relationship, a mature adult relationship.
Yeah, not the like 18-year-old.
Right? But I'm saying like when you live with someone, like that becomes like the new foreplay. You cook, you clean. That. I mean, obviously it's both of your things, but like if it's something that you don't do all the time, and not that like I expect my wife to cook all the time, but
of course.
But I know that she does, and she will, because she wants our kids to eat good food, and like, and I appreciate that.
And then have you ever had like a time, because like it's very usual to hear in men like, oh, like I focused too much in my job and then I left my family a little bit. Like, oh,
no,
you haven't had that.
No, I'm at the, I just took my son to his first soccer camp ever. Last weekend, and I go to the majority of my daughter's gymnastics meets, any of her breaking battles. I'm present. I'm not going to be that type of dad that I'm not present. There are sometimes I can't go, but it's just like it's not constant. It's not constant.
It's not like whenever he shows up, it's like, oh my God, Dad came.
Like she'll be like, oh, he really came. And it's not like that. No. And we do. I have a lot of daddy-daughter dates with my daughter. Like we'll go to a movie, or like like we're gonna go to the breaking battles or whatever.
Something a little something.
Yeah, like we. I can't wait to have those moments with my son. Like we do have our time that we spend together, because like what we're talking about, given time. My daughter has 3 hours that she's in gymnastics, so my wife will take her and take that 3 hours for herself. Okay. Maybe go get her nails done. Go take herself out to eat. Whatever. She has 3 hours to
do whatever.
And I stay home with my son, and that's when we have our time. Whatever it is we're gonna do. We walk to the playground, whatever. So all of it kind of balances out. Yeah, that's what I mean by a system. Yeah, like you just find out, and it's like, all right, this is what you need. Okay, you take that. You got to work it out.
It sounds very balanced to me. Like very not. Well, it sounds a little sad, but like that's very unconventional for whatever I hear about people. Usually, Maybe because they both have a regular job, so they don't really they have the same time to work and then the same time to be together.
Right.
Like what the fuck, right?
Yeah.
But in your case, like it looks like you're a little bit more flexible with your schedule and you make time for them. So it's very nice. Congratulations. I think like
thank you. I think we're both flexible. We're lucky that we have the type of career jobs that that allow us that kind of flexibility, and I've had that for 25 years.
Great.
I always say once I started walking in my purpose, I've never worked again since then. So
talking about your purpose, you said how many years of career or purpose?
Well, like 25.
25. Yeah. Okay, so how do you came up to find your purpose in life, or this is what I want to do?
Yeah, I so funny, man. I don't feel like I chose it.
Okay.
I feel like it developed and kind of organically became what it is.
Okay.
And I even tried to dodge it a little bit, and it came right back. When I was in New York, initially when I moved to New York, which is in '95.
Okay.
I was doing other stuff, like I was doing retail, and I wasn't trying to dance necessarily, because the type of dance that I do obviously is hip hop, is breaking, is popping, and all of that was kind of played out. At least I thought, because I was coming from St. Louis, because I'm from St. Louis.
Yeah.
So like nobody was doing that really.
Okay.
There, it was done. Like I had my run of being a professional hip hop breaker, whatever. I had my run of that in St. Louis.
Okay.
But then it was gone.
Yeah.
And everybody, all those people had real jobs. Well,
Yeah, they start to grow up and they have other life start happening.
Life started happening. Like people weren't breaking, and like if I were to do that like out in a club somewhere, they'd be like, "What, you breaking? Like what are you doing?" Yeah, So like it was like totally not even in my head anymore.
Okay.
And I actually had lived in England right before.
England?
In England, yeah.
Okay.
And I was doing some theater out there.
Theater, Kelly, theaters.
Yeah. So my plan was to come to New York and do theater.
Okay.
But after, my little bit of theater that I did, it just wasn't engaging to me. Like, I don't know. Like,
it was not fulfilling.
It wasn't fulfilling something for me. Not to say it's not great, because it was great, and I enjoyed the process.
Yeah, but there's some things that like they just don't go with us.
It just wasn't. I just felt like I needed something different.
Yeah,
and I wasn't sure what that was going to be.
Okay,
and my boy at the time, when I first moved here, I lived with my boy DL Warfield and his wife Lisa, who are my very, very close friends, dear friends, still to this day.
Nice.
Actually, he was in my crew when we were growing up. He was in my breaking crew.
Oh,
he was part of my crew, and that's how we've known each other for that long.
Okay.
But they lived here. He worked for Tommy Boy at the time, which is a record label in New York at that time. So I was like working in like the storage closet or something. They had like a fashion closet that had to be like cleaned up or something. I was just looking for any type of work.
Of course, you just moved to the city, so you're like,
I just moved to the city, so I'm just like,
I got to do anything. Yeah, of course.
And then I started working there, doing that, which is where actually I met a lot of other people that rest his soul, Fat Man Scoop. At that time, he worked there, and so that's when I met Fat Man Scoop back in '95. So then I ended up working for. He moved to go work for LaFace, my boy DL. Him and his wife were leaving. I had to find a place quickly, which I did. Yeah, because
that's like.
But I mean, I was only staying there temporarily anyway, because they already knew they were leaving.
Okay.
Like that's kind of why I rushed my
your way
my
to the
stay
city.
Right from England. I kind of rushed quickly to New
the
York
city.
because
So you're like, I gotta
he
take
was
advantage.
leaving.
Yeah.
But he had made a lot of contacts. I was like,
course.
you need to meet these people before I go. You know,
Okay.
pull up. You know. So I was like, all right. You know. So I went, and but I did have to find a place to live. You know.
You're like,
So, yeah. So, but I lived in Jersey City for like a year.
okay.
And then at that time, I was working at a place that was called Time Cafe, the restaurant.
Okay.
And where else? Oh, the Gap. I was working at the Gap too.
Gap?
I was working at the Gap.
Damn, my boy was working.
Working at the Gap, and I was working as a busboy at Time Cafe.
Okay.
And it was so funny because Russell Simmons would be there. I guess he lived in the area.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know who Russell Simmons is, he's like a major hip hop icon that really was the first true business mogul in hip hop, you know, because he created Def Jam,
Okay.
you know. And so anyway, I would see him at this restaurant
Okay.
and he'd have two phones. Like
My big ass phones by the time.
be back and forth. He'd be on these phones. He'd be taking meetings on these phones while he was sitting at the table. And I would be like busting tables, but like he would come in the morning, so it wasn't super busy.
Okay.
So I would just kind of be standing on guard, waiting to go do stuff for people.
Yeah.
But I was definitely observing. This is like, wow, like
Man,
this
busy.
guy is like really doing. And then, you know, then he'd have meetings and it'd be like, you know, Kid and Play would come up and sit down, have lunch with them, and then they'd leave, and he'd still be sitting there. And then here comes Tyra Banks would come and sit down, and she'd be having a meet, and then a bunch of other models come, and they're all having breakfast, and then they all leave. And then, you know, maybe now Lee R. Cohen comes, he's going to stand up. You know, it's like all
a
these,
lot of movement, like everything, a
movement.
lot of shit happening.
Yeah, but it was like, that was like his office kind of, like, you know, that was where he liked to take meetings, was at this place where I worked. And I'd be watching it. It's like, wow, like I want to be that. I don't know what that is, but I want to be that person.
Yeah.
Whatever he's doing, that's what I want.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, man, life is funny. It truly. So like maybe a year later,
yeah,
my friend moves away. They moved to Atlanta.
Okay.
But when he was here, he was working with a company called 555 Soul. Back then, it was a hip hop brand called 555 Soul, and he knew the owners of that, and I met them, and they knew people at Fat Forum, which was Russell Simmons' clothing line that he had just started.
Okay.
And so they were like, "Hey, we need somebody to come manage this store in Soho." And they were like, "We got the perfect person," you know. So they hit me up because remember I had the Gap experience.
Yeah,
or whatever,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And you know, you never know why you're doing stuff when you're doing it. You know, like why am I working at the Gap? I think I was just working there because I needed a job. And
Yeah,
I needed to make
like
some money. But
purpose.
I just mean from a bigger standpoint. Of
Yeah, like
how God works.
Yes.
Like you don't know actually.
Yeah, because you're like, wow, I'm just gotta get this job.
I just need a job. I'm working at the Gap. As it turns out, they needed a store manager for Fat Forum for Russell Simmons. My friend knew the guy. They reached out and said, "Hey, your friend Kelly, you know, is he still doing the retail stuff? And what's his up?" It's like, yeah, man. They hit me up. The lady who was, you know, the current store manager was like, "Hey, I'm moving in with my boyfriend. If you want to take over the lease of my apartment, I live in the Lower East Side." I was like, "Sure."
Oh shit!
So I moved from Jersey City to Lower East Side because it was walking distance to Soho. And
crazy,
yeah, man. So I moved. Everything just clicked. So I moved to Lower East Side, and I would walk to work every day to Soho, and I would manage the store and
a manager. Look at Kelly.
And wait a minute, but the person that I had to report to every night on the phone. Russell Simmons. Mr. Phone Guy, yeah. And like, you know, I've never told him that I was a busboy at that restaurant and saw him doing his business. Like, it was so inspirational though, man. And still to this day, and that was at that time too, like there were times where, after Fat Farm where, I was struggling financially.
Yeah.
But still to this day, I do go to that restaurant is now called something different.
Yeah, but
it's not Time Cafe. They have new owners, but it's called Lafayette. But I take my family there, and I do all of our major things we do there because it's just a reminder of where I started and how this all kind of began for me. And so and a lot of times I'm sure people will see I post stuff from there.
And they don't really understand.
They're probably thinking damn, they can't find any other restaurant to go to. New York has so many restaurants. Why do they always go there? It means a lot to me. It's so meaningful to be able to go there and just it's a check. It's a check. A reality check. A hip check. Hey, and it's not to say I'm so far removed. Though I am, but I'm not in the sense that
you move on. It's the same thing. Even when I moved here to the country 6 years ago, and they're I'm not even close to the place I would like to be, but I go to places and I feel a certain type of way because it reminds me of that stage of my life.
Yeah.
And I'm oh damn, motherfucker, you were really cutting grass.
Yeah.
I used to work in landscaping.
Yeah.
So right now, this season for me, I think they call it mosh.
Yeah.
Every time they put it, oh my God, you don't know.
It reminds you.
Nah, bro. If I'm feeling lazy to not do anything, I'm no, I'm not going back.
Yeah. No, hey, listen, evolution is great.
Yes.
Evolution is great. And I appreciate it. I appreciate all of those moments because that's what makes you who you are. And without them, you're not developing.
Forms your character.
It helps form your character, your work ethic, your life experience. And I believe in life experience majorly, man. I think that that's more valuable than anything is actual life experience.
Yeah.
The ability to communicate with people and work with people is
not everyone
valuable.
has that.
Not everybody can do that. It's very valuable.
Yeah. It's so anyway. Not sad, but it's just kind of conflicting to me how I meet people that they have problems communicating with people.
Yeah.
It's hey, yo, you live in this society with people, you gotta communicate. And
That's true.
And it's just crazy. I feel being, cause imagine if you're having problems being on the phone, imagine a kid that was burned. my English.
Hey, come on, English.
If you were born 205, 208, they were just born with the phone. Of course they don't communicate.
Right. Their experience is different.
It's different. They see
totally different.
The world they see it different.
They see it totally. I can't even imagine what it'd be like to be born into what this is, Instagram and all that kind of stuff.
Kind of scary sometimes.
It's very scary, man. It is. No, it's truly scary. And I think, the type of changes that we'll see, from technology and things in our world is things that we could never imagine. Even FaceTiming and doing things like that, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That would seem it was like the Jetsons. I don't know. I'm saying Jetsons, and nobody probably knows what that means unless you were born of a certain time.
Who were they?
The Jetsons was a cartoon.
Okay.
But they were they lived in a futuristic time period.
Okay.
And so everything that they did, they didn't have cars, they had spaceships, and they had a lot of things that would happen where they would be on these little escalators.
Oh, I know.
And they go through and it brushes their teeth and it gets their breakfast. Yeah, that's the Jetsons.
I know. I saw them.
You saw the Jetsons?
Yeah.
So but they would talk. This is a long time ago, but they would talk on phones that were in their house where they would see the person's face and they'd be oh, Dad's calling, boop, and they'd hit the thing and Dad's face would
and
be there.
And by the time you're wow.
Right, and you're wow, that's crazy, And now here we are, FaceTime.
FaceTime,
hey, let me talk to the kids.
The phone guy will be well, working from home.
Right, So,
even working from home is kind of crazy to me.
Yeah.
Especially after the pandemic.
Yeah.
It came oh, I work from home. Yeah, 3 out of 5 days.
I think it created a lot of new, entrepreneur-minded people.
Yeah.
Because people had to
Do
adjust.
something.
You had to make an adjustment to provide for your family. So like, you came up with new ways that you can make money from home, or from not having to be in an establishment anyway.
Yeah.
And so once
Not
that
anymore.
happened, it has become probably, from what I can see, difficult to get people to come into a building to
Now, yeah,
5 days a week to work.
Yeah. It's very hard
difficult.
now.
It's difficult because, now you've showed that there's other ways to provide without having to do
Yeah, there's
that.
more
So-
ways. There's not just the conventional way.
Right. There's not the conventional way.
Talking about the pandemic, like knowing that you were like a studio owner, right? Which means like a dance studio needs physical people to have class, right?
Right.
How do you like overcome the pandemic situation business wise?
Listen, this is why you cannot ever do things on your own. You have to have other people around you that are also great at what they do. And my business partner, as I said before, Gladys Bank, is that person. So like she had already had like an auxiliary situation set up, like months of rent saved and all that kind of, all that kind of stuff.
She prepared for it.
But not for the pandemic, but that's
No,
just
no.
how she runs business. You know what
That's
I mean?
how she is.
That's just how she does it. That's how she does it. So when it happened, she had already was hearing that there was a possibility things would be shut down, and I was like, that's not gonna happen. Like, yeah, they're not, like, come on, like they're gonna shut like
New York City is
New
gonna
York,
shut down.
right. Like I'm like, there's no way that's gonna happen. And but meanwhile, she's like, she's got Laura, and at that time, I think it was Laura and Jerica. She had them on Zoom meetings, like learning how to use this new thing called Zoom. Like, I'm sure it wasn't new for other people, but it was new for us. Like, she researched and found out that this was a good way to, to communicate and to have, whatever we were trying to accomplish.
Okay.
So she had them preparing for that with classes, with Zoom people. Literally, the day after they said they're closing down, emails went out. We won't physically be at the studio, but you'll receive a link. You'll still have your class at your time. You'll receive a link with the Zoom video. Bang. Kept going. Like literally, we didn't miss one step. There was not one day missed.
She was ahead of the game.
Ahead of the game. She's ahead of the game. But, like I said, I like to think that I'm great at what I do. But you have to have somebody with you who is as great as you are with what you do as what they do. And that is what I have.
Exactly.
So blessed.
Crazy.
Lucky.
So blessed. Okay, good. So keeping up with your journey, you said, were you always into the artistic world whenever you were like growing up?
Yeah, man. I started dancing professionally when I was about 13, 12, 13. Yeah. So there was a professional soccer team in St. Louis called the Steamers.
Okay.
And so they had, it's equivalent to like what we have with the Nets and the Knicks.
Okay.
How you have the Knicks City kids and the Brooklyn Nets kids.
Okay.
It was more of that type of thing. So they had cheerleaders or dance team or whatever you want to call it. I don't even know what
the actual name is.
I don't know what the correct.
But I think you understood.
I don't know the politically correct name, but they had, that. And then, they had a hip hop component to it, which is breakers. They wanted breakers to also be part of like their halftime shows.
Yeah.
And so, but soccer games were at our arena. So it was like, thousands of, I don't know how many people. So it's very cool. So we started off doing that. We ended up getting our own show out at Six Flags, where we had our own, weekly show that we did. And then some of the acts at Six Flags would see kind of the stuff that we were doing, and Six Flags saw that they liked what we were doing. So we started to open for a lot of those acts. Like,
Okay.
so like New Edition and like, you know, different people. It was cool though because, you know, Six Flags, because they kind of treated us the way they treated the celebrities. So they would like close down the park and let us like, you know, like after the park was closed,
they
allowed like us
to
and
get
like
in.
New Edition and whomever. Like they let us ride all the rides. There's no lines. They just let us rock, you know. And they would do that with us often. So it was very cool. But so no, I did that kind of stuff. Then, you know, I started working my crew.
Okay.
Would do some shows for like Herbie Hancock.
And it was always your crew, like you were the head?
I wasn't the head. I was just in a crew.
Okay, got you.
At that time, actually, my mom was managing our crew.
Okay.
My mom and another lady, her name was Miss Jared, was her name. And her daughter was on the, she's one of the cheerleaders on the team, as my sister. My sister was one of the cheerleaders as well for the Steamers.
Okay.
So she was a professional cheerleader as well. And my mom and my dad mostly my mom.
Okay.
Was like
she was
super
very
involved. But once we started doing the Six Flags thing, my dad had to get involved. There was a lot of back and forth. You know, Six Flags isn't like close to where we live, so we'd have to drive all the way
different
out
locations.
there. Well, no, it's the same location, but we just have to drive out like over an hour, like hour and a half, you know, every week to go do these shows. So, and then we start booking other shows outside of that, like whether it be parties and then like, you know, the soccer club itself had promotionals.
Okay.
That we would do like, you know, at different events.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even know what type of events, car shows, like whatever.
I just
you
gotta
know,
dance.
Wherever they tell us to go, we go and we dance, we get paid, you know.
Yeah, that's it.
And then me and my boys though, like, so I was with that was the Steam Heat Breakers, but then I had another crew that I was with called the Boogaloo Crew, which is another crew that another guy had started.
Okay.
And so we would do more like nighttime stuff. So we were like, I would literally sneak out of my window at night and we would go. We were hired by these clubs.
Sleeping.
Right. We were hired by nightclubs to come and dance in between like little breaks.
Yeah.
Like the same way now they have like go-go dancers.
Yeah.
You know? But instead of go-go dancing, we had like breaking performances.
Crazy.
Right? So it was like me and 3 other guys, and we had like and we got paid cash. So we would go like, I literally, because it was a club, it was late at night.
Yeah.
My family's knocked out. Like they had 9 to 5 jobs. So, you know, if everybody's going to bed at 9 o'clock.
Yeah. You're out.
I'm not even leaving the house till 10:30, you know, when I'm sneaking out, it's 10:30. And you know, the guy, the other crew members were older, so they drove and like whatever.
Yeah, they just get out.
And so we had our mini
house.
spot. I get out the house, I run through the backyard, and they'd be waiting with the car, and we go down and we go do our shows, you know. And
sneaking out to go to work is crazy.
But I mean, I was young, man. I was like, you know,
it's
a freshman in high school.
Some people be like,
you know?
yeah, I sneaked out to go and get drunk.
Oh yeah, no.
It's like, no, I was working.
I was sneaking out to go work. Yeah, man. We were getting that.
Pay
extra.
the gas.
We were moonlighting, you know. So it was cool though. And then we did we started traveling with this auto show. It was called it was like they had all these celebrity cars.
Okay.
Like the Knight Rider and the General Lee and like the A-Team van and Mr. T and all these people. I don't know. You probably are like, who are these people? But
like,
so they it was like some car shows.
Like, I'm
we would travel
for sure
with
gonna
them.
search for them.
So, but like they were hiring our crew.
Okay.
So like my dance experience was different because they were hiring us for who we were as a crew.
Yeah.
They wanted us. It wasn't like even when we would do, like when we did a show with Herbie Hancock.
Yeah.
Because he had a song called Rocket that he had breakers that would come out on that song.
Okay.
But even that, it wasn't like we were like backup dancers, so to speak.
Yeah, you were
we were entertainment. We were a crew that came out and contributed to his show.
Yeah.
but we didn't, So, it was a different
type of
it was
experience.
a different type of experience as a professional dancer.
Yeah, because you
know what I
already,
mean?
it's like, oh, you want to book me? Okay, good. It's not like you have to
Right.
prepare to,
Right.
oh, why do I need to get booked?
I didn't audition. I didn't they were calling us because they knew already what we provided.
What was the work?
They knew what the work was. They reached out. We did commercials, cat food commercials. We were busy. Like we made good money. We started working with another talent agency called Talent Plus in New York City. I'm sorry, in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Sorry. And so this lady was like booking us jobs and we did our little photo shoot so that she could have promotional photos and
Damn,
we would do like
it.
the Jerry Lewis telethon every year. Like we'd come on and we'd be a special guest crew to come and perform on this as a fundraiser, this Jerry Lewis telethon. But yeah, so we were very active, busy, professional dancers, but not in the same sense of
as like right now the industry is changing so much.
Well, no, I'm sure they were doing it too, but I didn't live by Heavy D or Mary J. Blige, or I didn't live by those people.
Okay.
So growing up, my experience was different in terms of
Yeah, it was just different. In that case, how much years of your career were you in this group, for example?
Probably about 7 years, I would say, because it was like from 13 to, I don't know, maybe 19.
20, 19.
Yeah, we were still able to get jobs.
Okay.
But I had to get, between that, I had to get other real jobs
of
because
course.
it's
not
I
enough.
said, breaking and all that kind of stuff kind of started to fall flat in St. Louis.
Yeah.
It wasn't the type of thing where it
down.
wasn't in demand anymore where they were like, hey, we need breakers. It wasn't. So you had to get a real job,
And then you get the opportunity to go to England, or
yeah,
you
I just did that. I just
you,
did that. Well, my sister lived there, and her husband, he was in the military.
Okay.
And so he was in the Air Force. So it was like, she was like, I live on base. You can live with us. You won't have to pay for housing, and you can
it's
go
a good
to school.
opportunity. Yeah.
And so it was this little subsidiary called Cambridge Drama Center. A guy named Richard Sproul was the theater teacher there. And so I started working with him. And that was just on my own thing, but I had to get a job there. I worked on the base, so I could make money so that I could pay for my acting
living
stuff and to live, but also for that little acting stuff. And,
And then how long was the, I was going to say the commute. How long was the, how many years you stayed in England?
Just a year, not even a full year.
How was the experience there?
It was good, man. It was interesting because you don't realize how important weather is in your life. I know, real talk, man. England is cloudy, foggy, gray, rainy, 99% of the time.
Shit.
So I didn't realize how important, sometimes the sun would come out for a hot second.
You're like,
and then you're like, and gone. No more sun. But yeah.
And then you come back because
I came back because
not fulfilling. Well,
no. I came back because my friend told me that
he was leaving.
He was leaving New York, and my plan was always to go to New York. He was there making connections, doing his thing, whatever. I was going to pull up, and he's like, he's that type. He's like a big brother to me. So he's like, I'm going to connect you with what I can. From my connections that are appropriate for what you're doing. You know what I mean? So basically, when he was like, hey, I just got a job at LaFace Records in Atlanta, I'm about to be out. So if you're coming, you better come now. Because I do have, some people for you to meet. So I'm like, all right, I'm out. So I pulled up, and like I said, I moved in with him and his wife, Lisa, who's also, they're both very close friends of mine. And trying to think. That was 95. So I started working for Fat Farm, I believe, in 96.
96?
Yeah.
And then how was the, like, were you afraid to move to the city, or you were more excited, or how
No,
was
I was
the-
excited. I was excited, man. I remember the first time when I was in Jersey, or Jersey City. That's where he lived too.
Yeah.
My friend, they lived in Jersey City, and they brought me, to the city. And I just remember like the noise, the taxis. Like at that time, it was only yellow taxis.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hella.
tons of yellow taxis. I was just like, damn, this shit is real. Like, this is not like it is like the movies.
Yeah.
Because you see New York in the movies and you're like, wow, but then when you step out of a car, out of the train or whatever, and you step into Times Square, you're like,
shit.
Sheesh.
Yeah. Like, it happens. I don't know, like people maybe who are from here, like you can say Jersey or around. I don't think they realize that much because they're kind of used to it.
Yeah.
Like people who like us, we were not from the city.
Yeah.
And then we come and it's like, damn.
It was
really here.
Culture shock.
Like,
It was culture shock.
yeah, because it's like, damn, like, you know how many people would like to be like right where I'm like, it's great.
Yeah, no, it's very cool. It's very cool. The first thing I did was like shave my hair down to a Caesar cut and bleach it blonde, platinum blonde.
Oh, and then
I cut it down. It was a Caesar is a style of haircut.
Okay.
And then I bleached it platinum. It was like white blonde.
Okay.
And I had that for many, 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 many years. I wore my hair like that, and it was in some way it was empowering because it was freedom from everything that I had been doing in my life. It was like, this is just me. This is my journey. Nobody is here in New York. It's just me. It's me, and I'm doing my thing, and I feel independent. I'm so independent that I can make a decision
what I want to do
to make my hair platinum blonde. What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna say?
Nothing.
So but you know what I'm saying? Like it was my coming into myself, being in this big city, and creating who I want to be. You know what I mean? Like it's on me who I want to be. If I want to be platinum blonde haired Kelly Peters, it's on me. And so that was the first thing I did. And I remember when I went home, I was like, oh boy, they're gonna but it's so funny. They liked it.
Oh,
they
really?
were like, I like it. And my family can be judgmental at AF. And like, my nieces would tell you in 2 seconds. They'd be like, what's going on with that belly, Uncle Kelly? In 2 seconds. Like,
that's gotta check you out.
No, that's just, we're very like straightforward in my family. So
no fake shit.
No, ain't no fake. They're gonna tell you. But they liked it.
And then whenever you moved to the city, what was that dream for you?
Initially, like I said, I wanted to do theater.
Yeah.
But I realized that wasn't like my calling.
Okay.
And so I just started doing things that I wanted to do. And, I like to call it following my heart.
Okay.
Some of it is survival, but some of it is following your heart. Working for Fat Forum was major because I came in contact with so many celebrities and so many contacts through Russell himself. Like, he's a party guy. I like to go out and so I was invited sometimes to go to some of these parties and, hang out at the clubs and be in the VIP with Leonardo and I was in it. But here's the thing about that. When you are not those people, but you are in those things, you start to forget that you're not those people. And so you're living your life in a way that reflects those people, but you're not in that position. You gotta get up in the morning and take your ass to work. And you still got a job and you just get caught up in a lifestyle that's not
yours.
It's not yours because that's not where you are in your journey. but you're experiencing it because you're around people that is their lifestyle because they're rich and like famous and like all these things. And like, yeah, I'm in it, but it's really not my life. You know what I mean?
And you started, did you start doing certain things that were not into?
One of the things that my friend did before he left, my friend DL, is he had introduced me to this woman, Millicent. Shout out to Millicent. Millicent is she's dope, man. She's like a casting director.
Okay.
And so she would cast me for different things.
Okay.
You know, so like I did like the Howard Stern Private Parts movie. Like I was like an extra in that. It was such easy work, but you know. And then I did the Killing Me Softly Lauryn Hill video, Fuji's video.
Okay.
That was like two of the things that and then she connected me with another group. I'll Be Sure. I think it was I'll Be Sure after that. And Lord Finesse. There was a couple other things that she kind of started getting me into that realm. And I was like, huh.
Interesting.
This is interesting. And I was just, you know, I'm always, you know, was observing what's happening on set and like who's doing what and, you know, that kind of thing. And I don't know. I was trying to still figure out what I want to be, I still wanted to be Russell. You know, at the end of the day, I still wanted that whatever he was doing.
Yeah. That life
of like obviously he's an entrepreneur, he has a business and like he's conducting business. I don't know what kind of business he's doing, but it looks like he's busy.
Yeah.
And he obviously has flexibility in his schedule. You know?
He's like his own boss.
Right, he's his own boss. He's not wearing a uniform. He's not punching a clock. He's, you know.
Yeah.
So like I'm looking at that, and you know. So like, you know, anyway, when I'm doing these other things that I'm doing on these different sets, when I'm still observant of. I wasn't a choreographer on it or anything, you know.
Yeah. But
I was either like, you know, an extra, or I was like, I didn't even want people to know that I danced because I thought still that was played out to be breaking or popping and doing all that kind of. I was like,
you were like, nah,
I still had the St. Louis mentality, which was because it was gone there. Nobody was doing that.
Okay.
So I still had that mentality. I was like,
I'm not telling anyone.
Right, I'm not telling anybody.
I'm an actor.
I do that. Yeah, like
I do theater.
It was more about the acting for me than it was about
the dancing.
Any dancing. There was a couple things like music videos that I did where they were like, "Hey, is there anybody that dances? We need, you know, some freestyle moments here on the subway or in this or that." And I was just sitting there like,
"No." It's like,
not really? Me. I ain't saying a word, buddy.
But by the time no one knew you like that to be like, hey, he dances.
Right. No one knew.
Crazy.
They didn't know.
And then when do you start realizing like, oh, like, I can say I dance now?
Well, you know, it's so funny, man. I was a party promoter.
Okay.
In New York.
Okay.
As part of when I worked for Fat Farm, like I said, I'd be out at all these different parties and different clubs and different things. And the one thing I am is a great networker. So I would meet people.
Okay.
And I met this guy one night. I was out, and he was like, "Bro, I do these parties. You should host them. You should be a host." Like,
okay.
He was like, "Your personality, like, you know, you got the blonde hair. You're very like," and basically as a host, my job is just to get cool people in the door, you know? So like back then I just had a little notepad that I would carry with me, and I'd be like, "Yo, you want to come to a party? You know, party, take your name, number, all that stuff." And I'd hit them up on nights that, you know, like I know I'm going to have a party, and I'd be like, "Hey, bring your friends. I got a table, bottles, let's get it," you know? So like mostly I would do like models, obviously, you know, anybody that was cool.
Yeah.
And I would have a table with a bottle and look cool. You know what I mean? That was my job. My job was to look cool and just You know,
what's your job? I look cool.
I just look cool. You know, I look. You know,
How about what you do for a living? I just look cool.
I just look cool. I just be cool. I party. I party. You know.
Shit, crazy.
Yeah. So, but that was, yeah. So, you know, I was doing the party promotion stuff.
Yeah.
And
was it hard for you? Or was it easy?
It was very easy.
Oh,
very easy. Yeah, no, I loved it, man. That was fun. So it was called Black Diamonds, and it was Derek Corley and AJ Calloway.
Okay.
Many people know AJ from 106 in Park.
Okay.
He was one of the hosts, which is an iconic, legendary show on BET. It was AJ and Free. It was a countdown show, a music countdown show.
Okay.
Called 106 in Park, and so they started that show, and it was just revolutionary for our time.
Yeah,
It was like really great show. But anyway, so I was working with AJ up until he started doing that show.
How long were you doing that job for?
The party promoting?
Yeah.
From like 96 to 98, 99.
Damn, it was
something
3
like
years,
that.
4 years.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I was in it, man, because it was also easy, good money.
Yeah.
But it was easy, but it did get old, you know, going out at, we had parties like sometimes 3-4 times a week. So like I still had a daytime job. I think at that time I was working for like Club Monaco.
Okay. And you be working
yeah,
everywhere.
I was working for Club Monaco. And I had that, but then I also was being a party promoter. So I still, after the long nights of finishing up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I still had to get up and, well, usually I didn't have to be at work till like 11, 12, whatever.
But still,
it's only like 5 hours of sleep, if that.
Nothing.
But like when you're young and like,
you don't feel it like that.
It don't feel like that.
You're like, grinding. I'm just cool.
I'm just grinding. No, I'm grinding. I'm doing my thing. And like, so like, I think, but this is what I was talking about. Remember earlier when I was saying like life experiences?
Yes.
So that my life experiences have molded me to be a certain kind of way.
Okay.
Meaning like, I don't make excuses for myself to not be, like, I'm not going to be like, man, I'm really tired. I was out last night at these parties. I'm going to call in. I'm not going to go to work today. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. It's not you.
I know I got to go to work.
Yeah. You got to show up.
I made the choice to go to the party.
Being responsible for your
actions. I got to go to work. That's it. I'm not going to, put my job people in a
put my notice in?
Well, no, I'm not going to put them in a position.
Yeah, to where, like Kelly's not coming.
Like I'm not coming. I'm just calling in sick, So I just learned that that's part of it. Like, okay,
being responsible,
party promoter, then I know I got to get my ass up and go.
And I think there's something that a lot of people have to learn these days.
Bro, like I've never seen more excuses for not doing things before in my life than this generation. Like the excuses people be coming up with is crazy.
It's like my dog didn't feel good today.
Well, no, it'd just be like, it'd be like my belly hurts. Okay.
Go home then.
I guess go home.
Yeah, it's a whole generational thing. I think I see my dad, bro. Like my dad I never saw my dad missing a day of work.
No,
never.
No, man.
But I never saw my dad missing.
I never saw my dad miss a day.
I never saw him completely sick. That be like, I cannot go to work. Like, and I'm just saying, like in general conditions, right? My dad, like, yeah, he had cancer and shit, but
oh really?
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. Is he?
No, he's good.
He's good now.
He got it twice.
Oh wow.
The third one is I'm just kidding.
No.
No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, he got it twice. He just
wow.
Yeah, he did good for the last time was like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago, and he had it. But they catch it like in time or on time. I don't know how I say that.
Yeah, they caught it in time.
Yeah, in time to be able to do something.
Yeah.
But still, he was very sick and he was still going to work.
Wow.
Like it's just like a generational thing. Like because like even though
Wow.
I
Big
see-
ups, pops. Big ups to you, man.
yeah, it gets cute, bro. Like whenever I have a sister, that's my only sister. Whenever I talk to her and we talked about like the things that now we see clearly that my dad did for us, it's like, damn, like we're so lucky to have him.
You don't realize until you're older and you're like going through the struggle yourself. You're like, damn, this is kind of hard.
Yeah,
he made it look so easy.
Facts, because like I was talking to him and I was like, yo, listen, like right now, like it's crazy economy, like opportunities are not that much, and like da da da. And I was like, yo, like how the hell you had a house, a wife, 2 kids at my age?
Yeah,
like
at your age. At your age,
at my age,
my mom and dad did it I think my mom. I think they were married when she was 15 or something. I don't know. She was like they were early on married, having kids
ahead of the game.
You know what I mean? Like they were having that stuff early. So, and like so, just imagine being 17 years old with a family. You know, or I think my mom might have been, maybe in her 30s when she had her last child, which was me, or maybe even younger. I don't know, but just still having 3 kids at that age. Can you imagine?
No, I couldn't.
If you're 30 right now,
I'm 26,
and you're in the world right now.
Damn, bro.
I mean, as a dancer or whatever, you got 3 kids.
No,
and a husband.
I mean,
like you got to grow up very, very quickly.
No, and there's no room for if you're a responsible dad, of course, or mom.
Yeah, there's no time.
There's no time to be lazy or shit. Like you got someone to feed. So I think it's just different now. Like because we have a choice, then it's like I'm choosing not to go to work.
Yeah,
because I don't have to.
Right.
It depends. Like whenever you have a kid, it's like oof. Like I see so many people be like, if life changing, like. Having
kids is life changing for sure, man.
So going into the timeline, right? You move to the city, you go to the cruise, you're doing like parties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When was the time you like actually achieved making a living through dancing completely?
Well, it was one night at the end of one of our parties. We were waiting to get paid from the club owners.
Okay.
And the DJ was still down. Like they had cleared out all the people.
Yeah.
And so it was just us, kind of like the
just
promoters,
the crew, staff.
Like my girlfriend at the time was still there, like and whoever else's girlfriend or whoever, whatever it was just like a very small few of us left.
Yeah.
And they played Just Begun. It's a famous breaking song. And AJ.
Okay.
My friend, he went down and he started breaking, but he was just kind of like joking around,
Mm-hmm.
And then like maybe somebody else went and did it, and then I went and did it, but I actually really did it. Like I actually went.
You went off.
Went into windmills.
Okay.
Windmills into a tight backspin and popped out of it and doing some footwork, and then. I'm joking, right?
Yeah.
I do all that and I stand up, bam. And I look around and everybody's like this. Because they had no idea. Remember I told you.
Yeah, you were like hiding it.
It was something that I didn't want people to know because I thought it would be like almost like a negative thing.
Yeah.
And people were just like, what in the, like, what?
Yeah.
Like, you really, really do this? And it's like,
well,
I was like, yeah, I told you that I was a professional dancer. Like, I know it doesn't, like, maybe it didn't fit the mold of what people thought professional dancer was.
Is.
But like, which is why even today I try to tell my students not to allow people to paint the picture of what is professional, what is not professional, what is, like who's to say what is professional? I would like to think is if you are getting paid regularly from something, then that is kind of like professional, isn't it?
Yeah.
And don't let people
Dictate.
what caliber makes it professional. Like it's like, well, did you dance for Usher? So then you're not really a professional dancer? It's like, no, it's not.
It's not how it works.
It's not how it works. but unfortunately, because of like social media and how those things are, it's like when people see those shiny things, it's like you want that and only that.
Yeah.
But you have to be open to receiving
other type of things.
Whatever your version of that is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, not saying that you won't get that.
No,
but it's your version. Maybe yours isn't just all of that. Maybe it's all of this and then sprinkles of that.
Yes.
You know? And so, but you don't know that until you
be open to
it, you know? So anyway, yeah. So at that moment is when everybody, so I was married for like a year.
Okay.
And she was actually from further northeast, like Martha's Vineyard, Worcester, Martha's Vineyard area. And so her family was on the vineyard. And so, and she didn't even like the city at all.
Okay.
Because like I said, I was promoting parties, I was doing all that. So like I met her like a month or two after she had moved to the city.
Okay. And
was just like, whoa. Like she was like, I can't do it. Like she's coming from like Martha's Vineyard, you know, where it was like peace and tranquility, you know, where you're like walking on the beach every day and like you have a good quality of life.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Where we're in this tight city, like, you know, she's like, you know.
Yeah.
So eventually she was like, I can't. It was like a summer and she was like, I'm gonna go to the vineyard. I don't know, I'm gonna try it for the summer and see. And I was like, well, you know, obviously I'm not going to let you go by yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I'll stop what I'm doing and I'll make it work on the vineyard, I guess. So,
damn.
Again, following your heart, you know?
Yeah.
Because ultimately that's what it was. Like, following my heart.
Yeah.
And, and I got there and I was like doing some landscaping. Stuff like that.
Really?
Oh yeah. Because again, remember, Kelly. I'm not dancing at that moment.
Okay.
And
that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, I'm doing landscaping and
all type of shit for love.
It was. I needed to make money.
Yeah.
Because I had to provide for my family. You know, I didn't have kids, but I still had a wife.
Yeah.
You know. And so I'm like, I still gotta make money. I was really bad at it. I was very bad at it. And so my brother-in-law, her brother, was one of the managers of this thing. And eventually, you know, he was about to have to can me.
You can learn these classic hip-hop moves and more with Kelly Peters in his Made for Beginners Make It Happen Hip-Hop Dance DVD. And now you can make it happen with Kelly Peters in his amazing hip-hop dance DVD.
And there's always three types of people in the world, you know. People that watch it happen, people that don't know what's happening, and people that make it happen. And you have to decide, which one am I? So we went and we watched, and I was like, wow, number one, this is not hip hop. Let's just start with that. He's like, I would use like yoga studios or different things.
Anything.
And she was like, my husband has a space that he just built, and you should come look at it. And I was like, I probably can't afford that or whatever, you know, whatever.
Okay.
So I didn't even want people to know that I like did that because I didn't want people to like make it think that all I did was like work with kids and that I don't do professional stuff. At that point, I was pretty much homeless. And so I called my boy, Lino. You know, he could hear it in my voice. There's
something going on.
I was like, bro, I don't even know how to fuck I'm paying my rent. Like, and this next month coming up, I don't know how I'm paying my rent. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And he was like, I don't know why you won't teach people like you were doing on Martha's Vineyard. He was like, I never seen anybody do what you did with those kids. Like, that shit was dope. He was like, you do that really well. I don't know why you won't just do that. Yeah. And tell yourself that you want to be great, but then your, you know, work ethic is average. Because the people that are great that you look up to, their work ethic is not average.
There was a lot of people who would love to teach at your studio. What are you looking for in a teacher to be able to have a regular slot or have a pop-up in your studio?
some people are teachers, some people just be having classes.
Yeah.
Like straight up. Like that is one of the gifts that I think I have is I see it before other people do. Some people I think that I'm cocky.
Did you ever have like a mental health issue? And how did you overcome that situation?
Excuse me.
Yeah, good.